Right. So that was Water Sports featuring the Big Brother feature at Sideline Sports Network. All right. Pac-12 matchup of the week: Washington State versus Oregon. Now, understand that Oregon has come off a loss against Washington. They had a chance to beat them, but they didn't beat them. Now, I understand that Oregon's at home, and their defense has been very impressive, despite the last couple of seasons hasn't been that good. But when you have a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Lanning, it just only gets better. Now, Bo Nix, ladies and gentlemen, is going off. Bucky Irving going off. They have the receivers, but in this game, as much as Washington State has been very competitive with certain teams, and with Cameron Ward at quarterback, I mean, he only has 3 interceptions of the year. Um, I'm just not sure how this Oregon State team, Washington State team is going to beat Oregon. So in this pick, I ain't want to go Oregon to win at home. They're not going to lose 2 straight games. I think offensively and coaching decisions, I think they'll still be aggressive and go for it on fourth down. But playing field position this game, who's your take on this one?
Yeah, this is one of the games that I didn't really think there was too much to really talk about. Washington State is good. They've been decent all year. They were ranked for a little bit, and that's all fun and stuff. But Oregon is just, I think, too legit to really. I mean, I don't want to say they should just like sleep on them or anything. Obviously, they're not going to do that. We saw that they don't do that with lesser opponents, with like what they did in the Colorado game. They went out there and they served it up for them. And I think that that's what they're going to do in this game as well. It's just, to me, like the matchups are too lopsided when it comes to the talent that you have on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Washington State's been playing great all year, but when it comes down to who's going up against who, I'm taking the Oregon O-line versus that D-line every day. And I'm going to take the Oregon skill positions over the guys that are going to be responsible for covering them. I just think it's a talent mismatch. Good for Washington State for being ranked for a couple weeks, but I think the Pac-12 is definitely going to catch up with them and put them in their place.
So they Washington State just has no chance against Oregon. No chance.
So it might be tilting my opinion a little bit, but Oregon's the spread is -20. I mean, the books know a lot more than me. As good as my record might be on here, my record against the sports books seems to be a little bit lopsided towards them. So I will say that I have more trust in their predictions than my first initial gut feeling. Because they've beaten me when I assume that. So I'm gonna stick to trusting the sports books when it comes to how close certain games are. Obviously, upsets happen all the time. It's college football. In this case, any given Saturday, something can happen. But I don't think this is that game.
All right. Well, I wish there was more to talk about, but it's just not. We hadn't really watched. Not that we hadn't watched Washington State, but we just don't talk about it because there's so many teams in Pac-12. You're talking Colorado more than Washington State. You're talking about Oregon State more than them. Oregon, Washington, USC. The Pac-12 it's straight loaded. So they're like at the bottom, even though they're consistently winning for right now. So it's just hard. But if Washington State pulls the upset, I won't be pissed off about it. But never say never. It's college football. Anything can happen. Now, next episode, Lemons with the sports.
Oh, I have one more thing. So the Oregon offense has scored the third most touchdowns out of any team in college football this year, like including every level of D1. So the FBS and FCS. They have 38 touchdowns as a team through 6 weeks. And the defense is legit. We've seen the defense be good. We saw them get a little exposed last week, but that was more, I think, because they were going up against the leading Heisman candidate in Michael Penix. So this week, they're not going up against the Heisman candidate. And I understand Ward has been good over there, but 38 touchdowns for that offense going up against a defense that is liable to allow some points up on the board. That's just another reason why I think this one's going to be a pretty wide margin by the end of the game.
All right, next we're going to shift the SEC. Tennessee versus Alabama. Last year's game came down to the wire. It came down to a field goal. It was a high-scoring game. But two teams have different quarterbacks, obviously. So we'll see how this goes and what the prediction is. And next, Lambert for the Sports, Silent Sports Network, Total Pole Nation. Like, comment, subscribe. We will catch you next episode. Peace. Adios.